BBC Radio Leeds. Now, if you used to enjoy watching the wrestling on a Saturday on the telly back in the day, well, this I don't think is quite like that at all. In fact, prepare yourself for a heck of a show. It's like that, but extra, extra, extra. So North Wrestling is coming to Leeds for the first time, and believe me, it's huge, it's raucous, it's entertaining, it's a massive wrestling show. And starring in the show when it comes will be a Bradford wrestler called Leon Slater, who has become somewhat of a superstar in America. Now, Leon is in the studio, but I'm also joined by Tom Campbell, who is a ring announcer. So what I'd like to do is, because I've just sort of introduced what we're talking about, what I'd really like to do is, I'd like Tom to, could you introduce Leon the way that you will do, like in the ring? How would you bring him on?
Gail, it'd be an honour and a privilege. Okay, right. I'm going to have to stand back a little bit.
Please.
Okay.
Here we go.
Fighting out of the city of Bradford! And he is the youngest signing in TNA wrestling history! And for 664 days, he has been the reigning, defending, undisputed North Wrestling Champion, the youngest in charge, Leon Slater!
Let's go!
A bit like that, Gail.
Yeah.
You know what's so funny? It's like we'll just sit there, we'll just have a nice conversation, and then you do that, and it's like, oh gosh, everybody's so excited now. How does it feel, Leon, when you're introduced like that? Does that help, actually?
Of course, I'm ready to go right now. I'm ready to go. And I mean, like you said, like North, it's raucous, it's extreme, we're exciting, and Tom brings that exact energy that we need, and that's why he's the best ring announcer for North Wrestling.
Oh my gosh. Tom, how do you look after your voice?
Vocal zone, a regular part of my diet.
I like a bit of vocal zone. I know what you're talking about.
Zone.
Yeah.
A little bit of Manuka honey. It's the very expensive. Yeah,
wow.
I mean, it's a bit expensive, so it's a bit of a treat. The runny honey doesn't do the job as well, to be honest with you. So that does help. And normally the day after a North Wrestling show, and if you come along on Friday the 30th of May to Project Leeds, you'll see me at a point where I'm losing my voice, and it's hard not to get that passionate when you've got guys like the youngest in charge, Leon Slater, who has proudly represented Yorkshire, and as you say, such a glittering wrestling history that emanates from Yorkshire and the north of England, Big Daddy and Giant Haystacks, to always mention them. This is the future of the industry that is now transatlantic, continental and intercontinental, and taking over in some big wrestling companies as well. Well, you broke the internet the other day.
How did you break the internet the other day, Leon?
So I broke the internet the other day by nearly breaking myself, to put it short and sweet. So the company I work for in America, TNA Rebellion, we had a big pay-per-view in LA actually called Rebellion, and I was in an Ultimate X match. And what an Ultimate X match is, if you can imagine it. So we have the ring, and on each side of the post, there's about a 15, 16-foot truss that goes up that has wires that cross in between. And we have the championship belt, which was the X Division title that we were competing for, hanging like I said, like 15, 16 foot above the ring. And me, being the idiot that I am, I'm wanting to try and make something special, climbed up to the top of the 15, 16-foot truss and did my finishing move, which is a Swanton 450. And
what is that? What is that?
So I'll try and break it down for you. What a Swanton 450 entails. I jump and I spread my arms out just like a swan dive. It starts out real glamorous, real elegant, and then I took myself, so I end up spinning like Sonic in the air and crashing down onto my opponent, and that's what I did off the 15, 16-foot structure, which obviously was insane and crazy to do. But I think the reason that it really went viral is obviously in wrestling, we kind of have this code, although we're trying to portray a fight, we're always trying to keep each other safe, right? So we had like 5 or 6 of my opponents down on the floor ready to catch me, right, and ready to break my fall from the dive. Or so I thought. I mean, I don't want to badmouth anyone. There was a couple of people that tried, but there was also a couple of people that did not try. So if you watch the clip, I'm sure if you type my name and it'll be the first thing that comes up. If you watch the clip, I'm doing my Swanton 450 from about 15, 16 feet up. And I pretty much crashed straight to the ground. And thank God, like, I'm okay. I had a little bit of a sore shoulder last week. But I managed to come out from it pretty scot-free. But yeah, like Tom said, that's how I managed to break the internet the other day.
For people who, I mean, they can't see you at the moment because we're on the radio, but it's not like you're a diddy little thing. How tall are you? Is weight important in wrestling as well? Do you know what I mean? Can you explain that to me? Because I'm a bit of a wrestling idiot, but you're very tall.
Sure. Yeah, for sure. So I'm about like 6'2", 6'3". Yeah. So like you said, I'm definitely not Diddy. I'm not the broadest guy, but I'm definitely trying to pack on some size, and I've got a pretty athletic build. So as far as wrestling's concerned, like, body is pretty important, not only like as a performance side out of it, but also as like an aesthetic side, because obviously we're much different from the UFC, where it's not so much of a competition and it's more of a show. So because we are more of a show, we need to look like we're a part of a show. Like, I can't just be walking out in front of 5,000 people in LA looking like Joe Schmo off the street, you know what I mean?
I tell you what, I love this about you. You're talking Joe Schmo. You've got this almost kind of slight American accent that's just creeping in over the top of your Bradford accent. Can you take me way back and tell me how you ended up being a wrestler? Has this been your lifelong goal, if you like? Have you been doing this forever?
Yes, I absolutely have. And I think longer than a lot of people realize, actually. So like, wrestling is the only thing I've ever wanted to do, like, since I was a little boy. It's the only thing I can remember wanting to do with my life growing up. And I was lucky enough that, like, my mum was so supportive, that at the age of 9, which for anyone listening that has kids that want to get into wrestling, I do not advise you get into wrestling this young. But at the age of 9, I started training. I just turned 20 last September. So I've been doing this for like 11 years now, and this isn't like me on shows, but I've been working hard in training for about 11 years.
Wow, and you're amazing, and it's all going so incredibly well for you. What have you brought in with you as well? I saw you carting something in. What is this?
I have the North Wrestling Championship with me, and I will be defending it, like Tom said, on the 30th of May against a fellow Yorkshire boy, Joshua Kemper, for the North Show at the end of this month.
Do you have beef? Do you know what I mean? Is there a bit of character? Is there a bit of play involved in there? Are you I don't know what you're like, in the arena. Yeah. Are you a baddie? Do people boo you? What give me a sense of the occasion.
He's not very popular, Gail.
He's not.
I'm not very popular. I'm not very popular with the North audience. I mean, I feel like I'm doing the right thing. Okay, I always try and do the right thing. But yeah, I'm definitely not in the North faithful's favourites right now. But on the other hand, Kemper is. Kemper has just won the NCL Cup, which is a tournament we hold every year to determine like a number one contender for the North Championship. So because he's won that, I'll be defending my belt against him on the 30th of May.
Right. Okay. Well, lots and lots of luck. And I suppose I should ask the same question to Tom, which is: have you always wanted to be a ring announcer? Have you been working on it for your whole life?
Well, my whole thing, I started out in radio, so
did you?
Oh yeah, I met my wife through working in radio, and a big shout to BBC Radio Newcastle if you're listening up there as well. That's where my home base is. Nice to see you guys there. But always been that. But wrestling's always been a big passion of mine. So when I moved to Newcastle, I fell in with North Wrestling, and they were just happened to be looking for a new voice of choice. So that was kind of where I stepped in, and I've been very proud to be sort of watching. I was there when Leon Slater debuted for North Wrestling.
Yes, he was.
As a late addition to a tag team tournament. Somebody wasn't able to make it. Oh, Leon's in the building. Let's get him in. And I've watched you over the last couple of years go from opening of the match, opening of the show, to the main event of our biggest shows ever. And that continues on Friday the 30th of May at Project Leeds, where and obviously, as we've said, North Faithful not massively into you at the moment, Leon. And I think
to say the least.
For good reason. Since you went to TNA Wrestling, you can watch Leon on TNA Plus, by the way. Since you went there, your attitude has changed somewhat, but it's a homecoming, really. This is you bringing the North title that you went up to Newcastle to win. you're bringing it back to Yorkshire, back home, essentially, to God's own country.
Yeah, well,
absolutely.
Lots and lots of luck. When you go out, is there a bit of music that you go out to? Is that a thing? Or
Absolutely,
you...
yeah,
oh, really?
yeah, of course,
What's your thing?
So I actually have a custom theme. It's called Youngest in Charge by a guy called Filthy. And yeah, I'm very lucky because obviously the higher we get, the bigger platform we on. Platforms like TNA Plus, platforms like the North on Demand. We can't really use copyrighted music. So it was a big goal for me early on to have like a custom piece of music that's made just for me that translates exactly the message that I want to get across. So shout out to Filthy on my music.
All right. Like I say, lots and lots of luck. This has been a real eye and ear opener for me, but it's been really, really nice to meet you. You sound like you are just gonna... Oh, I don't know what the right thing to say is because like you sound like you're gonna do really, really well.
Come along on the 30th of May and you can cheer or boo him however you deem appropriate. northwrestling.co.uk.
Okay, yeah, 30th of May, Project House in Leeds. Thank you so much. Leon Slater and also Tom Campbell. You take care. Thank you.
Thank you, girl.
Thank
Bye.
you.